The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Cagayan is now planning to put up burial grounds as COVID-19 cases and deaths in the province continue to rise. For the details, we have Romel Lopez reporting to us from on the ground in Tuguegarao City. Romel, how is the provincial government responding to all these deaths and cases due to COVID-19?
Yes, and aside from that, COVID-19 specimens for testing are now piling up at the molecular laboratory of Cagayan. This comes as the infection in the province continue to rise, now with some 3,183 active cases. The provincial government intensifies its testing efforts to determine the extent of the problem. With that, the number of specimens being brought to Cagayan's molecular laboratory has increased. Municipal health workers have to fall in line just to deliver the specimens for testing. From 600 average daily tests, the laboratory now deals with around 800 plus specimens. The number of new COVID-19 deaths in Cagayan has remained in double digits for more than a week now. Like other LGUs, Governor Manuel Mamba has ordered the preparation of mass burial sites. There's no crematorium in the province, meaning that they have to rely in one located in Isabela. Sean, Governor Mamba reminds local officials to carry out all necessary steps against COVID-19. The town of Bagao, for one, will impose a stricter localized lockdown. Sean?
Romel, thank you so much for all those updates and stay safe out there in Cagayan Valley. That was News 5's Romel Lopez joining us from Tuguegarao. And the Commission on Higher Education, or CHED, has allowed face-to-face classes in 12 learning institutions across the Cordillera region for the academic year 2021 to 2022. In-person classes will be limited to health and medical-related courses and programs. The CHED will be working with concerned LGUs to ensure that safety protocols are properly enforced. 6 universities and colleges in Baguio City may also conduct face-to-face classes starting next school year. And these are the University of Baguio, the University of the Cordilleras, as well as the Pine City College, St. Louis University, Easter College, and Baguio Central University. For the rest of the region, institutions that have been allowed to hold limited face-to-face classes are the Mountain Province State Polytechnic College, the Benguet State University, and the Benguet Vocational School. Also included in the list are the Cordillera Career Development College, the Ifugao State University, and the Kalinga State University. Meanwhile, the health department has reported over 4,000 and 1,800 new COVID-19 cases on Thursday. This has brought our total caseload to 1,791,000, with 111 and 700,000 active infections. 387 duplicates were removed from the total number of cases. 258 more patients died of COVID overnight, bringing the death toll to over 30,800. The DOH noted that 180 cases previously tagged as recovered were reclassified as deaths. Total recoveries are now at 1,648,000, with 8,200 recoveries logged in the last 24 hours. 23.8% of the 59,800 people that tested for today's COVID-19 bulletin yielded positive results. We're going to pause for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. back on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Senators questioned the health and budget departments over their purchase of overpriced face masks and face shields back in April of last year. Mean Los Baños with the details.
Senators were surprised to know that the Budget Department's procurement service bought costly face masks and face shields back in 2020. During the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee on Wednesday, it was revealed that the DBM purchased face masks at 27 pesos apiece and face shields at 120 pesos each back in April and May 2020. These reflected on the supposed deficiencies in the Health Department's spending of pandemic funds.
Sobra naman yatang specialized itong DBMPS at itong re-require ninyo na napakamamahal. Sabihin na natin na very tight ang supply at that point. Pero saksakan na yata ng overprice. Hindi ho ba negotiated bid to at kapag buy in bulk ang gobyerno, we have a right to discounts?
Committee Chair Senator Richard Gordon said the Philippine Red Cross also bought masks and shields in the same months last year but at a much lower price.
I'm astounded, quite frankly. 120 pesos for a face shield, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, Mr. Frank, Mr. Senate President. Yeah. 120 pesos. We bought it at 15 pesos.
The DOH transferred 42.4 billion pesos of its COVID-19 response fund to the DBM's procurement service. DBM OIC Tina Kanda said that this was a practical decision since the department was busy with the onset of the pandemic. In defense of its questionable purchase, the agency explained that the high prices were due to the short supply and there was no suggested retail price yet at the time.
During the time of our procurement, the SRPs for these items were not yet valid. So when we conducted the procurements for these PPEs, we were looking at the reasonable price that existing at that time.
The name of resigned Budget Undersecretary Christopher Lau, who was the head of the procurement service at the time, also surfaced during the hearing. Senator said he wanted to be an ombudsman deputy but withdrew his application shortly. Kanda told the Senate that they've questioned Lau before if the high prices can be justified.
Question on whether the amounts for the face shields, face masks, and other PPE would be defensible. Because some people from the private sector were saying that it's expensive. So that was the question I recall, na yun po yung tinanong namin noon kay Yusek Lau. And he said at that point na because there were limited items in the local market, the amounts that he presented were defensible.
Meanwhile, the Senate also questioned the companies where the masks and shields were purchased, since the contractors are all startups.
These companies, the Pharmaly Pharmacy as well as Philippine Blue Cross Biotech, were newly formed companies with no financial or medical track record. And we would like to know also, because the board or the directors do not seem to have any background either in the supply area.
The hearing will resume on August 25 and former Yusek Lau will possibly be invited. The Senate is also asking for records of other transactions where Lau was also involved. Reporting for News 5, Mean Los Baños, we are One News.
And Congresswoman Claudine Bautista has defended her lavish wedding that happened amid the pandemic, saying it was a product of her husband's hard work. Congresswoman Bautista, who represents the driver's sector in Congress, explained that her husband had been planning the special day for years. She added that the event was supposed to be private until Michael Cinco, her wedding gown designer, posted a photo on social media. In response to her critics, the salon noted that some of her accomplishments, such as helping in the vaccination of some 18,000 PUV drivers, were overlooked. Bautista's remarks comes after netizens questioned the need for such extravagance, while her constituents struggle because of the health crisis. It's time to take a quick look now at today's other top stories. Malacanang says that more than 12.8 million people have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. 6.2 million vaccinees have yet to receive their second doses, and the daily average of vaccines administered nationwide this past week has hit 445,000. The World Health Organization says there is no need for booster shots, at least for now. Experts are saying that current data does not indicate a need for an extra shot against COVID-19. Because of this, the agency reiterates that the shots should first reach poorer countries before being rolled out as boosters. And in weather, Tropical Storm Isang has entered the Philippine area of responsibility as it moves northwest over the Philippine Sea. State Weather Bureau Pag-asa says that Isang is not likely to directly affect the weather of the country throughout the forecast period. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.